and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing the top 10 movies of 2019 plus 2 honorable mentions. I watched a lot of movies this year, guys. I don't know if you understand that. There was a lot of movies to choose from. So I picked 12 out of like the 20 that I saw. Alright, let's get started. And coming in at number 12 of my honorable mentions is How to Train Your Dragon 3. I think I was going to say 1. No, that didn't come out in 2019. I'm hilarious. Okay, How to Train Your Dragon was a super fun-filled movie, and I really liked watching it, and I remember watching it, and I remember having a really good time, and I really liked the ending and everything, but I don't remember what happened in the actual movie. I remember the white dragon and the black dragon. That's really it. That's the extent of my memory of this movie. I remember that it had a really good plot line, and I really liked the plot when watching it, but it's just not that memorable for me, which is why it's coming in at number 12. And number 11 will be Booksmart. I vividly remember watching Booksmart, unlike How to Train Your Dragon, probably because I was on a plane, but I really remember connecting with the character. It was a really fun movie. The characters were really well fleshed out. I really liked... What else did I really like about this movie? Maybe that's why it came in number 11. I don't really remember what else I liked about the movie. I remember that it was a good movie. I had a really fun time watching it. Characters were nice. High school was pretty accurate. That's really it. And I just want to give a heads up, there might be spoilers if you haven't seen some of the movies. Also, where I will tell you what the movie is, and if you haven't seen it, just skip right over it. I probably won't spoil anything, but just in case, I don't want to accidentally reveal something that's really big, in case you haven't seen the movie. Okay, now for the actual movies. Number 10 is Jojo Rabbit. Wow, I can hear y'all screaming at me. I really liked this movie. I thought it was a really good movie. I thought that the characters were well developed. I really liked Scarlett Johansson. I just really liked Scarlett Johansson, but I thought that she played the mom really, really well. I really liked it. I really liked Jojo as a character. Elsa was really fun to watch. This movie was really, really good. There just were some better movies than my personal opinion. And remember, this is my personal opinion. So this is just what I think. This doesn't have to be your top 10. This is my personal top 10. And this is based off of filming and characters, but it's also based off of how much I really liked this movie. No, it was such a good movie. I really liked it. I thought that it was really good. I had a few problems with it. At some times, the plot felt a little slow. It felt like there's some bits of unnecessary filming in the movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like the characters. Taika Waititi is an excellent director. He's a great actor. Scarlett Johansson was amazing. Can't remember the boy's name who played Jojo, but he was really good. All the characters were really, really good, and they were really well fleshed out. I couldn't connect with most of them. Jojo Rabbit was an excellent movie. It was so good. Characters were great. I couldn't connect with some of them, but the plot was really good. It felt a little slow at times, and that is why it's at number 10. And coming in at number 9 is Frozen 2. This movie had everything in it. It had songs, it had amazing characters, it had a 90s power ballad, which I'm gonna say didn't really need it, but interesting to watch. Frozen 2 encompassed a lot of Disney in it. It had more diversity, it had overcoming mental boundaries, which was super interesting to see. On a song, The Next Right Thing was just, I was sobbing. It was so beautiful. But overall, the movie was really good. The plot was super interesting. The mom's song was really pretty. I've decided that if I ever have kids, it's what I'm going to sing to them. I really liked it. But I felt like it was a little slow at times. There just was a couple of unneeded things. There was a couple of unneeded scenes. Like the 90s power ballad sung by Kristoff it was fun to watch, but it didn't help the plot that much. And overall, it's why it's at number 9 and not any higher. Alright, and coming in at number 8 is Little Women. Little Women was a good movie. I went into Little Women with low expectations. I don't really like classics that much, and just the story didn't feel very interesting to me. I didn't really know the story, but I went in with low expectations. I came out with my mind blown. It was such a good movie. It had good characters, it had good development, and I really liked how it went into the four sisters. Like, it went into like their backstory and their like perspective of things, which was super interesting. And according to some of my friends, didn't actually happen in the book, which is kind of disappointing, but it was really interesting to see in the movie. Like, the director made a lot of really good directing choices, and I really could connect with some of the characters, which is nice for a movie right after the Civil War. Anyways, Little Women, I did not like the ending. I don't know if I'm the only one who didn't like the ending. I felt like she should have ended up with Teddy. I felt like she and Teddy had better chemistry than her and Frederick, who was the guy who she actually ended up with. In case you didn't know his name, because I didn't know his name, I had to look it up. So, I did not like how she ended up with him. I really felt like she didn't need to end up with anybody. I feel like she should have ended up with anyone. It would have been Teddy, but she didn't. I felt like she should have just stayed single, because that just felt like more of her style. I know it was because the publisher made her change the ending, and I know that the entire story was her writing about her and her sisters. I did not like the ending in the slightest. I hated it. That's the reason it's so low on my list, is because I didn't like the ending. It felt rushed, it felt pulled together. I don't know, it didn't rub me right, which I sometimes have first-hand feelings about movies that have nothing to do with how it was shot, the characters, plot, anything. The ending. I didn't like. Endings for me are a big thing in movies and books. If it doesn't end right, that kind of ruins the whole book for me, because we're going to talk about number 7 more, but I didn't like the ending. That's just my personal feelings. The characters were good, the plot was good. I did not like the ending. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one. Put down in the comments if you liked the ending to Little Women or not. But make sure you don't spoil it for anyone. Just kind of say if you didn't like it or not. Alright. Number 7. Star Wars. The Rise of Skywalker. 7. I know. I wanted to put it higher from my list, but like I talked about with endings, it felt rushed. It didn't really feel like it come together, and I didn't like that she was a Palpatine, because I didn't feel like that fit into the storyline very well. Also, I should have mentioned this before. I'll put a little spoiler warning. I put a spoiler warning at the start of this video, though. So if you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker and you don't want to be spoiled, you should have listened to the spoiler warning at the start of this video. Very sorry if I just spoiled Star Wars for you. That was a big mistake. Alright. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like that she was a Palpatine. I really liked how it was shot, though. I felt like it was shot really beautifully. And the characters felt like they had an arc throughout the trilogy, and I felt like most of them completed their arc. I did wish that Poe and Finn had gotten together, because I really liked them together. You know what? Fanfiction will solve this problem. But I really liked the characters. I liked how they were all friends at the end. I really like bonding as friends. It makes me happy inside. I really liked that they got together as friends. It's like the golden trio from Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. Okay, I'm getting off track. Okay, Harry Potter. Nope, that's not even what we're talking about. I'm talking about Star Wars. Different franchise. Great movie. Great ending. It did feel a little rushed, though. And that's really my only problem with it. Is it was a little rushed. Otherwise, it was a really good movie, and I probably would have had it higher up on my list if it had a better ending. They should have made it part 1 and part 2. Okay, number 6. Downton Abbey. Another movie I had low expectations of. Not really. I actually really wanted to see this movie. I really like movies with like stupid drama in it. Like, the entire plot of Downton Abbey was that they wanted to serve the queen, but the queen's people wanted to serve her for dinner. Which, this is all I remember of Downton Abbey, which felt like a really dumb plot, but I was super into it. I saw this movie with my cousin, and we both really liked it. And it was such a fun experience. Like, I really got connected with all the characters. Like, I didn't really, like, connect with them, but I really felt for them. Like, I wanted the people, I wanted the servants of Downton Abbey to serve the queen. Also, Maggie Smith. Can we talk about Maggie Smith? She's just the best. I really like Maggie Smith. Okay, she was really funny. I don't know any of the other actors' names other than Maggie Smith. That's because she was in Harry Potter. Can you tell? I really like Harry Potter. Okay, but Downton Abbey had a really fun plot. Like, you wouldn't think it, but there's a lot of, like, side plots that were, like, intersecting. It was fun. It was a fun experience, and it was a fun movie, and I really had a good time. All the actors were super good. Like, timepieces are hard. I'm not really into, like, historical fiction pieces unless there's, like, a lot of fantasy in them. My floor is so creaky. Okay, but it was just a fun movie altogether, and I really enjoyed watching it. 5! Harriet. Remember that movie? The movie that I think should have won the Oscar, the Grammy, the Golden Globes. That won award show for movies. The Tonys? No, that's musicals. Emmys? No. I can't remember it. Harriet was such an amazing movie. I loved it so much. Like, I came out of it with so many feelings about Harriet and about what happened at that time. Do I remember the time period? I remember that takes place in South Ends because I took AP US History in high school. And that's really it. Harriet was such an awe-inspiring movie. Like, everyone knows Harriet Tubman, but no one really knows, like, the specifics. Like, I didn't know what she went through until watching that movie. And I just felt like it was a really good representation movie. It was such a beautiful, like, timepiece movie, and it just, the shot, like, the filming was just so beautiful, and the actors were so good, and the singing was beautiful. Like, the song that she sings to alert the other slaves to, like, run was great. I liked Harriet a lot. That's why it's number 5. Spider-Man, Far From Home. This movie was just, I was just in tears most of the time. Like, I think I saw it 3 times, and it just got better. It's always fun to watch Marvel movies over again, though, because you can, like, spot little details in the movie, which is what I did when I saw it. Is I was, like, look for details in Marvel movies just in general, but I couldn't really, like, look for it when I saw it the first time because I was, like, watching for the plot. But then you watch it the second time and there's, like, little details, like, spoiler warning, just right now, spoiler warning for Far From Home. I don't know why you haven't seen it yet. It came out a long time, I don't know when it came out, August? September? I have no idea when it came out. I loved Far From Home. I thought it had an amazing character development. I thought that the plot was good. I thought that it was filmed really nicely. Brad was awful and I hated him so much. Like, he's trying to break apart my ship. And that's not allowed. Because MJ and Peter are so cute together. Like, they're just like the trio. It's going to be MJ, Ned, Peter. And it's going to be glorious. I really like trios, if you haven't noticed. That's really all my thoughts on Far From Home. I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. I thought that there was a lot of high points. And I'm definitely gonna go watch it again and cry. Alright, top 3. This is very exciting. It's the top 3 movies, in my opinion, of 2019. Number 3 is, drumroll please, Captain Marvel. There was so much criticism about Captain Marvel. I thought it was a really good movie. I really liked it. I think I saw it 4 times, mostly with my friends. We're all very huge Marvel fans, so naturally I get to go see it with all of them many, many times. I loved Captain Marvel. My only criticism of it is that it wasn't much of an origin story. Like, I didn't really get to see her, like, use her powers or, like, understand how to use her powers. She just kind of knew how to use her powers, which was amazing, and I loved the movie so much, and I thought that Captain Marvel as a character was someone who I could relate to, and I just thought that she was amazing. Her and Carol and, oh, what's her name? what's her name? Maria! Haha! Carol and Maria had such good chemistry together. Like, they were, like, you could tell that they were friends. Like, even when Carol didn't actually remember who Maria was, they still had such a good chemistry together. Like, you could tell that they just automatically trusted each other, which feels like something that's really hard to do, and it is really hard to, like, act out, but they did it so well. Like, the actors did it so well. And Brie Larson as Captain Marvel was really good. Like, I love the Captain Marvel comics. I love Captain Marvel just as a character, and Brie Larson just managed to, like, embody that, which was amazing to see. I'm sad that they named the cat Goose and not, like, Chewie, but I'm fine. That's like the only, like, differentiation in, like, the comic book characters. I loved Captain Marvel. It was just an amazing story. It had a really good plot. Nick Fury and his relationship with Goose, how he got his eye patch, was so funny. I loved it. It was great. Captain Marvel was amazing. The plot twist at the end was great. It was well thought out. There were seeds. Like, I watched it again and there were, like, seeds planted, which was super fun to, like, watch again and see and, like, pick out the seeds and be like, oh, yeah, there's this and there's this, and that's how they all connected, which was super fun to see. I loved it. Captain Marvel's a great movie. Go watch it. Go watch all of these movies if you haven't seen them. They're so good. They're great movies. Number 2, Knives Out. Knives Out was such a good movie. I loved it. I love murder mysteries. I love trying to figure out the mystery before, like, it happened, and I couldn't do it. Like, I'm normally good at this thing. This is what I do. I couldn't figure out the mystery. Technically, we did, like, learn about the mystery, like, at the very start, but it was so good. It was, the characters were good. The acting was beautiful. The shot, I lost my ability to talk. The shooting was so good. The set was beautiful. The house was great. It was amazing. I loved this movie. Oh, I'm gonna forget all of their names. Ransom, as a character, was so complex. I loved it. I can't remember their names. The girl who played Leah in Love, Simon, I loved her, just as a character. I love the actor too, but as a character, she was so interesting. Kathleen? It starts with K. Katie? Kathleen? I can't remember. But just, it was great. The characters were great. The moms were awesome. The husband, the main character, whose name I can't remember, was great. She was amazing. The detective, whose name I also can't remember, was great. The movie was great. I loved it. I loved the storytelling. I loved the filming. It made sense. Like, consecutively, it made sense. It all fit together nicely. Unlike the Dumb Queen's Assassin book, that didn't fit together. But it fit together. Everything fit together, and it was amazing. I loved Knives Out. Knives Out is probably, I think it would have been my favorite movie, but I think most people can probably guess. Once you've seen my top 10, there's, like, definitely a theme. But once you hear my favorite movie, you're gonna, like, it's probably guessable. At this point in the video, you can probably guess what it is. It's not that hard. My favorite movie of all time in 2019, Endgame, obviously. Endgame was beautiful. I already loved the concept of Infinity War, of all the heroes, like, coming together, because that's just what I love. It's like the Pixar theory, the Disneyverse, I love universes coming together. But then Marvel did it, which wasn't that hard, because, like, the comics already did it. But Endgame was so good. It was depressing, and I actually cried. Like, I couldn't. I was sobbing. I was in the middle of the theater. It was dark. The lights came off, and I was just sobbing. It was so hard for me to watch that movie, but I loved it so much. Like, it was so good. I have so many feels about Endgame. Tony, hi again. Spoiler warning for Endgame if you haven't seen it. I don't know why you haven't seen it yet, but spoiler warning for Endgame if you haven't seen it. Alright, back to my long rant about how much I loved Endgame. Tony's sacrifice, Morgan, did you see the deleted scene with Morgan and Tony? Because I saw it and I started crying. It's like a 2-minute scene. It's the same actor as the girl in Knives Out who is in Love, Simon. It's her again. I'm so mad I can't remember her name. Her name will be right below here if I can find it again. But she was, oh my god, I love her as Morgan. I need to see her coming back. I need to see her and like Peter being like brothers. Peter and Harley need to interact at least once. At least once in phase 4. I need it just as a person. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. Tony's sacrifice, beautiful. I hated Cap's ending. I hated that they did that. It does not feel like Steve. Like, just as a person, that's not what he would do. He spent like 4 movies trying to get Bucky back. Trying to make sure that the government didn't like kill him or something. And then he just left. He just up and left. No, he doesn't do that. I didn't like it, if you couldn't tell. It didn't fit with his character. But whatever. That's not my decision to make. I thought he should have stayed with Bucky. Because he spent like 4 movies like trying to save Bucky. You know. But no. Also, they had like 2 minutes of screen time in both Infinity War and Endgame, and then he just up and left. I didn't like it. I'm so excited for the Winter Soldier and Falcon TV show though. Like, I'm a big shipper of Winter Falcon. Like, I love that ship. I feel like they have a lot of good chemistry. I feel like they're like an enemies to lovers type of thing, and I love that trope. Like, don't get me wrong, it's amazing and it's beautiful. I'm so excited. I have a lot of feelings about the Marvel Universe, if you could not tell. I love it. There are flaws. I'm not completely blind. I can see that there are flaws. But it's just, overall, the Russo brothers did such a good job with it. Like, the filming was beautiful. The scene with Steve and Tony and Thor, and they were all, like, walking together, was great. It was, like, it was so good. I loved it. I loved Endgame. I am so happy that like everything like got resolved at the end and did not like Cap's storyline. But I already mentioned that. It was so good. And those are my top 12 movies of 2019. If you haven't seen any of the movies that were listed, go watch them. They were so good. I loved them. I loved them. That's why I made a video about them. They were so good. Please comment what your favorite movie was of 2019 in the comments down below, and while you're down there, please hit subscribe. I'm Amelia. I make videos every Sunday, and have a great day!